Epicurus, a Greek philosopher who lived during the 4th century BC, believed that happiness was the ultimate goal in life. He argued that true happiness is achieved through the pursuit of pleasure and the absence of pain. On the other hand, Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and philosopher from the 2nd century AD, emphasized the importance of virtue and living a life of purpose. He believed that true happiness lies in living in accordance with nature and fulfilling our duties to society. Epicurus taught that pleasure should be sought in moderation, avoiding excesses that can lead to pain and suffering. He believed that simple pleasures such as friendship, tranquility, and freedom from fear and anxiety are the keys to a happy life. On the other hand, Marcus Aurelius believed that happiness comes from living a virtuous life guided by reason and self-discipline. He encouraged individuals to practice self-reflection and to focus on what is within their control rather than being consumed by external circumstances. These divergent philosophies reflect two contrasting approaches to happiness. While Epicurus highlights the importance of individual pleasure, Marcus Aurelius emphasizes the significance of self-improvement and contributing to the greater good. In this episode, we will explore some of the critical aspects of Epicurus and Marcus Aurelius' philosophies and how they can help us find happiness in our own lives. First, let's look at how Epicurus defined pleasure. For Epicurus, pleasure was not just a physical sensation but a state of mind. He distinguished between two types of pleasure, kinetic and static. Kinetic pleasure is the pleasure that comes from satisfying a desire or need, such as eating, drinking, or sleeping. Static pleasure is the pleasure that comes from being free from desire or need, such as being content, calm, or relaxed. Epicurus argued that kinetic pleasure is often fleeting and accompanied by pain or discomfort, while static pleasure is more lasting and stable. Therefore, he advised us to seek static pleasure over kinetic pleasure and to limit our desires to what is natural and necessary. Epicurus also identified three types of desires: natural and necessary, natural but not necessary, and neither natural nor necessary. Natural and necessary desires are those that are essential for our survival and well-being, such as food, water, shelter, and health. These desires are easy to satisfy and bring us great pleasure when fulfilled. Natural but not necessary desires are those that are not essential for our survival and well-being but are still in accordance with our nature, such as sex, music, or art. These desires are more challenging to satisfy and bring us less pleasure when fulfilled. Neither natural nor necessary desires are those that are artificial and irrational, such as fame, wealth, or power. These desires are impossible to satisfy and bring us no pleasure when fulfilled. Epicurus advised us to avoid neither natural nor necessary desires altogether, as they only cause us pain and anxiety. He also suggested that we should be careful with natural but not necessary desires, as they can lead us to excesses and troubles. He recommended that we should focus on natural and essential desires only, as they are sufficient for our happiness. Secondly, let's examine how Marcus Aurelius understood virtue. For Marcus Aurelius, virtue was not just a moral quality but a way of life. He followed the Stoic philosophy that taught him to live harmoniously with nature and reason. Stoicism is a school of philosophy that teaches us how to cope with the difficulties and uncertainties of life. It teaches us to focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot. It also teaches us to be rational, calm, and detached from our emotions. Marcus Aurelius believed that virtue was the essence of human nature. In his Meditations, he wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." He also wrote, "The only thing that makes life worth living is doing good deeds for others." By the following virtue, Marcus Aurelius was able to live a noble and honorable life. His people respected and admired him for his justice, generosity, and wisdom. He was also loved by his family for his kindness, humility, and affection. Marcus Aurelius identified 4 cardinal virtues that guided his actions: wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control. Wisdom is the ability to use reason and logic to make sound judgments and decisions. It also involves being aware of oneself and one's surroundings. Justice is the ability to treat others fairly and impartially. It also involves being honest and trustworthy in one's words and deeds. Courage is the ability to face difficulties and dangers with confidence and resilience. It also involves being loyal and faithful to one's principles and values. Self-control is the ability to restrain one's impulses and desires. It also involves being disciplined and moderate in one's habits and lifestyle. By practicing these virtues, Marcus Aurelius was able to achieve inner peace and happiness. He wrote in his Meditations that he who lives in harmony with himself lives in harmony with the universe. He also wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." The philosophies of Epicurus and Marcus Aurelius offer different perspectives on happiness. Whether we prioritize pleasure or virtue, it is crucial to seek balance and live purposefully. Thank you for joining us on this quest for wisdom. We hope it has shed some light on the fascinating debate between Epicurus and Marcus Aurelius. We would love to hear your thoughts on this topic. Which philosophy do you agree with more? How do you pursue happiness in your own life? Do you have any questions or suggestions for us? Share your views in the comments section below. We appreciate your feedback and support. Don't forget to subscribe to Philanthropia for more thought-provoking content. Until next time, keep exploring the fascinating world of philosophy and stay tuned for more captivating insights.